Good Friday morning, my friends. I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day on this fantastic Friday. You know why it's fantastic? Because today is Sonia's birthday. Yes, she has reached a huge milestone, which I cannot share with you on this, but it is a big day, and we are celebrating, hopefully in Franklin, North Carolina. That's why you see me wearing the same shirt for the last 3 days, because I pre-recorded these. But right now, I want you to remember Sunday morning, Mother's Day, great day ahead of us. We got Bible study at 8:45, worship at 10, going to be a great celebration, so come and join us for that. All right, verse 6, Galatians chapter 6. Let him who is taught the word share in all good things with him who teaches. Now, you remember what I said yesterday as we dealt with that verse about bearing our own load? You know, I have the privilege of being a pastor, teacher, shepherd, minister to the flock. God has blessed me with that privilege. He's given me the spiritual gifts that I need to accomplish that. Other people have been gifted with being teachers, whether it's in the educational world or in the church world. And so look at what Paul says here. Because remember, a lot of times we get this idea that, well, you know, the pastor, he's the big guy. He's the one that gets all the credit for what's going on. Well, understand something, you know. The buck stops here. So I'll take the blame for most everything, and anything that's good, I give glory to the Father, because it's not me. So it's not a competition. And that's what Paul says here. He says, let him who teaches share in all good things, or let him who is taught share in all good things with him who teaches. We all glory in the grace of God, because remember, if anybody thinks that he's something when he's not, he's deceiving himself. Look, we're all in this together. The body of Christ works together, because nobody has all the spiritual gifts. Can I tell you that? Listen, I've got several spiritual gifts, and I'm so thankful that God has gifted me with those things. But I got to tell you, I don't have the gift of hospitality, not like some people do. I love people, please don't get me wrong. But when it comes to putting together a dinner party or a fellowship, that's not me, okay? I don't have the gift of that so many of you have who are part of the body of Christ. And without that, we can't accomplish what we need to accomplish. I don't have the gift of evangelism. Now, I do evangelize. I share the gospel. I tell people about Jesus. I try to lead them to the Lord, but I don't have the gift of evangelism. Others do. And so they fill in that gap. And so as we think about all of this stuff that we do in the church, whether it's music, children's ministry, youth ministry, college-age ministry, single adults, middle-aged adults, I don't have all of that giftedness. But God has placed in our church the people who do, so that we can accomplish everything that he's called us to. And that's the amazing thing about this. And that's what he's talking about here. Let him who is taught share in all good things with him who teaches. Because think about this. We have 300 people in our worship services on a regular basis, sometimes more, sometimes less. All right, think about this. What if all 300 of them decided that they were going to preach that day, that they were going to teach that day? There'd be nobody to listen. And so understand, there are those who teach, those who are taught, and we all glory in the outcome of that, what God does in our church. If all of us were evangelists, there'd be nobody to make disciples, right? If all of us had the gift of mercy, there'd be no one with the gift of exhortation. So think about that. We all share together by utilizing our gifts. Now, here's the problem. In so many of our churches, we have believers who refuse to exercise the spiritual gifts that God has given to them. Now, they'll say things like, well, I don't know what my gift is. That's because they haven't looked for it. Now, I know that might be offensive to some of you, but you need to understand, if you're a Christian, you've been gifted with spiritual gifts. You need to discover what that gift is, and you need to exercise it. You need to use it for the glory of God. Otherwise, there's something that is missing in the church, whatever church you go to. So we glory together. We share in the blessings together, those who teach, those who are taught. And we need to understand that that is an important thing for all of us to do and all of us to be. Now, I'm going to stop here because we're moving into a different category, different concept in this next passage. But I want to see you Sunday. Be blessed.